Hello, friends. Unfortunately, society often has a negative attitude towards the homeless people. And no matter how sad it sounds, it's the truth of life. People try to avoid them on the street, and they often get asked to leave cafes, shops, and even public transport. But you shouldn't forget that they're people nonetheless, and sometimes you'd be surprised to learn what kind of people are hiding under the old and torn clothes. So, today I will tell you a cautionary tale that happened to a waitress in a small cafe in Texas. A young woman named Maria had been working in the same cafe for several years, and she actually liked her job. Families with children often chose to eat at this cafe. Office workers came in to have lunch, and young people stopped by for a cup of coffee. Overall, it was just a regular cafe, like so many others. However, one afternoon, a stranger came in, who stood out among all the cafe's regular customers. It was Maria's shift when a strange man came to the cafe during lunchtime. He looked around a little and sat down at one of the tables. His appearance made it clear that he was going through a tough patch in his life and that he probably had no money to pay for his food. His clothes were dirty and his hair and beard were unkempt and unwashed. I don't think I need to say that none of the cafe employees were happy about such a customer, and therefore all the waiters ignored him and only glanced at the homeless man, waiting for one of the staffers to ask him to leave the establishment. A few minutes passed like this, and when the man started signaling for a waiter to come over, the latter simply ignored him. No one wanted to approach the man. Maria, however, could no longer watch what was happening and decided to take the order of the homeless person. It is worth noting that the woman knew perfectly well that if this customer didn't pay for the order, its cost would be deducted from her salary. Nevertheless, she chose to bring the man a cup of hot tea and a cake. As soon as the woman did it, she got called over by the cafe manager, who reprimanded her for bringing the man food and reiterated that if he did not end up paying for it, which he most likely wouldn't, the money would come out of her paycheck. Maria only nodded her head obediently in response, and a few moments later, she brought the homeless man the rest of the order and wished him bon appetit. Of course, in the depths of her soul, the woman felt sorry for the stranger, but she worked hard to earn a living, and therefore she got very nervous that she might end up having to pay for the man's lunch. At some point, she even caught herself thinking that if the homeless person left without paying for the order, it would be a good lesson for her, a lesson she will remember for the rest of her life. Imagine Maria's surprise when the unpleasant-looking visitor finished slowly drinking his tea and took out his money and paid for his order. But that wasn't all, because when the woman approached the table, she saw that he'd left her a tip of $100 and a note, which made her hands shake. Dear Maria, I'm very grateful to you. I see that you treat yourself with respect. It shows in the way you treat other people. You have found the secret of happiness. Your good deeds will become an example for other people who know you, said the note, signed by the hand of the homeless man. The most surprising part, however, was the name signed under the message. It was the name of the owner of the cafe. As it turned out, the head of the cafe chain decided to run a check on his establishment. The owner decided to find out how friendly his staff were towards visitors and sent in a mystery shopper dressed as a homeless man. Needless to say, Maria knew nothing about this. She simply did what she thought was best, treating all the customers as equals. Thus, the owner of the chain was very happy with how Maria handled the situation. He fired the rude manager the very next day, and as you have probably guessed already, appointed Maria for the next position. Moreover, just 1 year later, she was already the manager of 3 cafes around the city, and her life had definitely changed for the better. The woman simply chose to treat every person with respect, regardless of what they may smell like and what they're wearing. After all, one of the main rules in life to always live by is to always remain human. Let us know in the comments, what would you do if you were in this kind of situation? And that's all for today. Like the video and share it with your friends. Bye.